This is Lori McIntosh with Cobo Banker, and I am sitting on the back porch with Alain. Alan. He is French, and he has an E on his name, so it throws me off. And Eve with the Funny Farm here in Newcastle, just south of Auburn. And we're going to talk about what he does for a living. I am a customer, a huge fan, and let's see what he has to say about the Funny Farm. So, Alan, can you describe your business? Tell me what you do.
We are a small custom butcher. I do pork, lamb, goats, birds. We're about to expand into doing beef next spring. We're not quite there yet, but we're a very, very small business, and which is great. I love it. I'm a retired electrician. 34 and a half years as an electrician. I had butchers in my family, which I learned. That's how I learned how to butcher. And I just decided after COVID, once COVID shut down my electrical business, I said, I'm just gonna. I looked at my wife and said, well, we're opening a butcher shop because it was a need for the community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there just aren't enough people doing it, right? Even now, there's not enough people doing it. We can be as slammed as we want to be. And I'm by myself. I have no employees. Once we do expansion, I think I'm going to have to hire somebody,
Mm-hmm.
which is okay. It's fine. I would love. I've had some young folks. I had a graduate of Placer High School, and my godson, who's a young kid, he's just turned 21, learning how to butcher um, over the summer, and it was fun. I enjoy it. It's a lot different than construction.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
And your T-shirt says it was established in 2017, right?
Yeah, we purchased this property in 2017. We came down from Colfax. We were in Colfax for
13 years.
13 years. So we came
Mm-hmm.
down here because it was time to take care of my mom. So we didn't want her to have to drive in the snow. So we bought this place, and so we take care of mom, and we started the business, and here we are.
And how did you convince Eve again?
She just basically told me, if you want to do it, damn it, just do it. So here we are. Um, I was, after all the years of doing electrical, I was just kind of tired of it. Just
Burnt out?
yeah, burned out. That's a great way to put
I
it.
can relate.
I was just burned out on it. So and it was something that I loved doing as a kid. Um, and as soon as I opened, I did all the construction myself. As soon as I opened the business, the first few animals coming in, I knew it was what I needed to do, and she knew. She was like, "Oh God, he's so much nicer."
So Eve, tell me how you're involved with the business.
So I do a lot of the day-to-day farm stuff. I help with feeding the animals because we actually do have a lot of live animals on the farm. We have sheep, goats, pigs, chickens. We have a alpaca. We just got a new Jacob sheep that we hope is bred, and we'll have sheep on the farm. A new breed of sheep on the farm this year. I do all the picking of seeds, which vegetables we're going to plant. I kind of just do the stuff that I clean the pens, kind of like the dirty work, but I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a respite away from office work and trying to schedule people and trying to make phone calls and deal with clients. It's nice to go out and watch baby pigs run around and watch baby goats play. It's a pretty fun job. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I shovel manure every day, so
Yes,
I
I
can relate.
yes.
You
I
guys,
did, yes.
you want to shovel manure and help me, you're welcome
There's a
to.
lot
Right?
of poop. I deal with a lot of poop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, like, how did you guys get here? Obviously from Colfax. Before that, where are you originally from? like
We're-
everybody
go ahead.
else, I
Go ahead,
think.
Deb.
Born and raised in Redwood City in the Bay Area. I was born at Sequoia Hospital in Redwood City. I went to Notre Dame Belmont High School, graduated from there. My kids were born at Sequoia Hospital. And when the Bay Area started getting a little too crowded and it was just, I wasn't super satisfied with the school system, I decided to make a change. We had a discussion about it and thought, let's just go to Placer County. So here we are.
That's what,
Yeah.
19 years
That
ago?
was, 2004 we moved here.
Yeah.
Okay. And you haven't looked back.
Not,
Never.
never.
Matter of fact, every time I drive to the Bay Area now, I get tense.
It's very stressful there.
Yeah.
It's just
Practice your breathing.
Yes.
Deep breathing.
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, Lamaze class.
Yeah. So, and tell me how you got about your background being French. Love to hear about that.
I am French Basque. If you ask a Basque person whether they're French or Spanish, they will tell you I'm not French or Spanish. I'm Basque. It's kind of like a Sicilian is a Sicilian, not an Italian. It's the same kind of deal. So, excuse me. I am a first generation American on my father's side, second generation American on my mom's side. And one of the traits of the Basque people is they're very proud of their heritage. So every year in Lincoln, every year in October, first week, second week of October, there's a big festival, Basque festival, that we are heavily involved with. We do the cooking. I play in the band, and it's just continuing the tradition, right? I've had family come from Europe. I have more family in Europe than I do in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they come here, they say, "Gosh, you're more Basque than we are, and you don't live in the Basque country." Well, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's a very proud tradition,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very proud.
Well, I'd like to go to that event.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It would be great for this channel to show a local cultural thing. If you want to do it, you absolutely have an open invitation.
Thank you. I meant to tell you guys my new YouTube channel is exploring the foothills, and
Cool.
Lincoln
Okay.
falls into that category a little
Okay.
bit.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah, I mean, Lincoln's not the foothills, but we're close enough.
It's right on the edge, and parts of it actually behind Hidden Falls. I mean, it's a
beautiful.
big city.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
So
it's
there are
beautiful
parts
there. Yeah.
that fall in there. So tell me more about your dad was a butcher, and that just caught my eye because I interviewed someone earlier whose dad was a pastor, and being a pastor, you're speaking and you're gathering community together. And now he does the same, working with administration and coaching. And my father was a photographer. My sister was a photographer. I was a photographer for a little bit. And then he started writing books, and I wrote a book. So I just think it's so cool. The people that I meet are in these trades that they learned it from their parents. So like your godson and your son, teaching them, maybe they could carry on your tradition.
And that's what I hope. I mean, my dad wasn't the butcher. It was my uncle.
Okay.
My dad's sister's husband. So my uncle by marriage, doesn't matter. He's still my uncle. He was a butcher in Europe. And when he came to the States, my dad came here in 1958. I think he came a little earlier than that. I don't know what, but he was a butcher, and he couldn't get a job as a butcher in the States. So he became a union carpenter. But he continued his butchering for friends and family. So on, excuse me. So on the weekends, when I was when I was really little, we always, when you could do it in the Bay Area, we always had a couple of live pigs in the suburbs hanging from the garage, and my dad, uncles, everybody, we'd butcher those pigs, and it was for the whole family for that winter. Well, I wasn't allowed to use any of the tools, but I could package them. I could put them in the Ziploc bags or whatever they were. I can't remember what we were doing in those days, but I would go over there several times during the year and help him butcher. Hey, his friend Johnny had a lamb or whatever it was. I would go and help him butcher it. And once I got old enough to use the tools, then I fell in love with it because I don't know. It would just, I don't know. It just spoke to me. It was something I need. Our family are farmers.
Hmm.
They were farmers in Europe. The Basque people are known as sheep herders. Most of my family, when they came to the United States, came here to Ely, Nevada, um, Elko, Nevada, Idaho, and became sheep herders. And so that's just what they knew. I grew up going to my dad's godmother's place in Los Banos. Um, every year you go down there and you're castrating 300 lambs. So I just grew up doing that, and I loved it. So now that I'm getting older, I just decided it's something that I want to do. I loved it when I was a kid, and now I love it just as much now.
That's really cool. Getting
Yeah,
back to your roots.
yeah, yeah. It's tradition, right?
Hmm.
Um, even the even when I make the salted hams and stuff, the jamons that you get in Spain and the prosciuttos and all that, it's the sausage and all that. It's tradition,
Yeah,
and I hope that it stays that way. I hope that I can pass it on. And now my grandson, he loves it.
don't worry about the truck. It's not that loud.
Yeah, but like
That's just life in the country.
Yeah.
my hold on. Now my grandson, he just turned 2, and before you got here, he came out and he knows the routine. He comes out and helps feed the animals with us and pick up the eggs, and it's something that needs to be passed on. It's the old ways that to me are important, right?
Totally. Yeah. In fact, when I came to pick up my order that I got from a fellow Rotarian, he's in 4-H, and they teach young 4-H kids how to raise pigs and other animals and let them go and sell them for money. And we bought a pig, and you harvested it for us. And that's how I met you. And there was your grandson helping in the freezer, pulling everything out with your
That's
daughter.
right. Yes. Loading your box to take
And
home.
I was like, is he
Yes.
speaking French, Spanish? And I was trying to figure it
Well,
out, not
I'm
because I know both barely,
yeah.
but
I speak French. I speak French to him. Everybody else speaks English. I didn't speak English until I went to school. So that was just the way it was,
There's
right?
a lot of your relatives and cousins
Yeah,
didn't
this
speak English till
no.
school.
So now I think it's important. I wish when I was in high school that I had taken Spanish in school and not French, but I decided to take the easy A, and
yeah,
but
I
now
would
I'm
have done
kicking
the
myself in
same.
the rear end for doing that.
You can
But
get
yeah,
Babbel.
exactly. And so I speak French to him just so we can have that foundation, and he can later on in life take it wherever he wants to take it.
Yeah, and that's really cool. Will he be in 4-H?
He will be in 4-H. He's only 2. I think what do they start?
What's the minimum?
4?
I
Yeah,
don't
I
Is
know.
it 4 or
5.
5?
I think it's
Really?
5. Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
yeah, we have some chickens or rabbits he's going to show for sure. Yeah, we just have to wait. We have a granddaughter who's what's 8 months younger.
Yeah, she's 18. She'll be 18 months old next month.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And then we
Yeah.
have another granddaughter on the way. So yeah, we're gonna have some 4-H Etcheverrys coming in.
That's great. We
in
carry on the tradition of farming.
100%.
We
It's
don't.
very important right now, especially today, to teach kids and even teach adults the importance of a local food supply
Yes.
and a local food source and where your meat and vegetables come from, where they're grown, how they're grown, and who's growing them. Um, Factory farming, industrial farming is really not.
I like to throw it
It's
out.
not the way to go.
It's
Yeah.
not the
There
way
you
you
go.
want to go. You want
No.
to know who your local farmers are. You want to know who your butchers are. You want to know who your vegetable growers are.
Yep.
So you can get a good local food supply going. There is a place in Auburn, a little store in Auburn called, I think it's called the Farmers Marketplace, and they have a lot of local people, a lot of local farm stuff there. I try to support and go to those places. So
Yeah, hopefully more of us will do so. You answered my
yes,
question. Thanks,
yes.
Eve.
We're gonna we're opening a farm stand out on the road.
Yeah,
Nice.
We're gonna
in the
try to do a
spring.
co-op within people that are in local.
Hmm.
I mean, okay, it's not like you're going to go to Rayleigh's or Safeway and you're not going to come there and go, oh, I can have this. Whatever's there is there, but at least you know it's fresh, grown right here locally.
Yeah, that's massive, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we use we don't buy our fertilizer. We use our fertilizer. We've got natural fertilizer here.
The
We don't
pigs, the
need to
goats.
buy it.
Yeah.
We do a compost every year, and it's we have beautiful tomatoes and peppers.
Yeah.
We grow long beans. We grow cauliflower, artichokes, golden beets, lavender. We have basil, rosemary, thyme. Um, all knowing where it comes from. My grandkids can go right out into a garden, pick a tomato. My grandson was picking figs this weekend, and he just ate it right off the
Yeah,
tree. And
we
it's
were making fig jam.
so important
Yeah.
for kids to be able to do that and know that instead of this plumped antibiotic filled chicken or
A strawberry that never goes bad.
a
Exactly.
strawberry that never
Huge.
goes
They fit in the
bad.
palm of your hand. You're like,
Yes.
what is this
That's the
Frankenstein
other thing
strawberry?
we're doing. Starting in the spring, I'm going to start doing pasture raised organic chickens. I have to start small. I mean, we're small,
Hmm.
but if I can do 300 this year, I think I could. I think there's enough people around here that would like to have an actual non-plumped pasture-raised chicken versus a Foster Farms or Tyson from the store.
100%.
So I'm going to try. I'm going to start out small, and we'll see where it goes from there. We're going to do chickens. We're also going to increase our lamb production. Um, we Eve and I both last night were talking about taking advantage. We have so much, not so much, but we have enough dirt here that we're not taking advantage of. So I think if we can raise 10 or 20 lambs a year, you have fresh lamb. I would love to do pigs. I just don't have the infrastructure to do that many pigs.
Right.
But if,
They like mud and they like
yeah,
to
it's
burrow
and they
and
tear
dig.
things up. And
I've seen some
lambs,
farms in Nevada City, but
Yes.
it's a trip to watch.
yeah,
Yes.
and but the infrastructure for pigs is so expensive.
Hmm.
So we're going to start small. We're going to start with chickens and lambs, and right now we're finding a actually pretty big market for meat goats.
Mm.
And so I think we're going to mix. We might mix some meat goats and lambs this year. See how it goes, and reassess next year to see what we're going to do in the future.
That's really cool.
Yeah, goat is the second most consumed meat on the planet after chicken.
And I don't care what anybody says.
I had no idea.
As a Basque person, Basques do lamb. We eat lamb like the Greeks eat lamb. So it's almost like the Basques beef, right? You eat lamb all the time. So for Easter, you know, in the Catholic, we're Catholic, but in the Catholic tradition, you always have lamb for Easter. That's just kind of the tradition.
Hmm.
That wasn't in our household. It was goat. We always had goat. Small goat, not big goats. Like a lamb, but like a kid, a small goat. And it's delicious. It really is delicious. So it would be nice to see more people. I have a lot of Eastern Europeans, people from India, and people from Saudi Arabia and that area of the world. They keep asking all the time, "Do you have goat? Do you have goat? Do you have goat?" And I think it's a missed opportunity if we don't at least try.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because when I think of goat, I only think of the Caribbean. And you just named all these other countries that aren't even in that part of the world.
Right.
And
I didn't even
yeah,
know the Caribbean was a big thing for goat. I had no
it
idea.
is. Mhm.
Okay, I had no idea. Goat is huge. It in Spain it's huge. In southern Spain, because southern Spain, obviously, they're closer to Morocco, North Africa, but
Mm-hmm.
there's so much missed opportunity by not raising goats, and nobody here does. For meat goats, of course, people raise goats to do dairy, which we're going to do that. We're going to start doing some goat cheese, just a small batch.
Nice.
We'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have enough room to go too crazy, but why not?
Why not? Yeah, and I really like when you mentioned all these different cultures. I feel like southern Placer County, being so close to Sacramento, it's very
Yes.
diverse.
Yes.
I mean, I lived in San Jose for a time, and it was so diverse. I got to meet
Yes.
all kinds of people, and then we moved to Auburn, and it was like, oh no, it's all white people again.
Yes.
But I think it's growing with more and more people are more comfortable coming up into the foothills that are a different race, different
Yeah,
culture,
and that's a good thing.
and doing what they want to do. Like
Yes.
eating and celebrating whatever their religion is,
Yeah.
and
Let 'em.
Absolutely.
it's awesome.
And we did have a client who we did a lamb for, and they asked, do you
Is
do
it
your
halal?
do you prepare your um, meat in halal? And yes, we do. We do halal if you need.
I didn't know
Um,
what halal was.
yeah.
I didn't know what halal was. It's how you dispatch the animal and then prepare the animal for butchering. I just did it the way we always did it. It just happens to be the old school way, and it happens to be halal. So okay, that's great. Yes, we do.
So
Because I asked him, I said, "What?" And he explained to me. I asked him, "What is halal?" He explained how. I go, "Yeah, that's exactly how I do it." I had no idea. I had
and
no idea.
they were local here in the foothills,
Yeah,
just here on the border of Newcastle and Lincoln. So it was very cool to be able to help them, and farms do bring people of all backgrounds together.
100%.
It's a great it's a great community. We have so many made so many great friends and connections in this Placer County farming community. It's a great resource for people if you don't want to be a farmer but you want to have farm raised things. This is a great place to be.
Yeah, I think Placer Grown does a great job with
Yes.
events and advertising and in the farmers markets,
Yes.
and then even California Visitor Center next door to the Chamber downtown. And
Yes.
Oh yeah.
actually, there's Old Town, there's downtown, and then there's the square.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't get that the square is its own little area. And I learned this from interviewing Auburn Bodega grocery store.
Oh, okay.
You should carry your meat, and I'll hook you up.
Okay.
But anyway, the California Visitor Center has this app that you can download called Visit Placer, and you go visit all
Cool.
these farmers in different areas around the county.
Cool.
It's
And
a
that's
good
pretty
thing.
cool.
You said you were in San Jose, so you understand. We grew up in the Redwood City. I grew up old school. I always joke with my kids. I was born in 1970, but I grew up in the 50s, right? Mentally. My kids grew up in the 70s. I was very fortunate when I met her that her best friend was also Basque. So she
Wow.
understood the
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah.
Huh.
She understood the mentality. So she didn't.
Small world.
Yeah. So she didn't look at me like you're some weirdo. She understood it because a lot of people didn't. My friends that were Italians or whatever they were, if they were first generation, they understood it. But when you go to school and you get some weird lunch, what are you eating? I'm eating whatever it was. Oh no, I'm not eating that. Well, you're lost.
Yeah.
They just didn't understand, and that's just the cultural thing. When we moved up here, you're right. When we moved up here from the Bay, whatever it was in 2004, I don't know that there was a black family in Colfax at that time, and it was kind of weird. It's like, oh, it's kind of strange, but I didn't, it didn't. I didn't trip on it. But now we move down here, and you start seeing all the farmers, and there's so many different cultures, and that I was like, okay, this is it's great. I love it, and I love learning. I just learned about a Ukrainian culture. I had no idea that they want pork fat. I just sold the man 90 pounds of pork fat.
Wow.
What they do with it, that's their business. But it's their culture, and I enjoy it.
Cook string beans in it.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
My mom's her mother's from Lithuania, so
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
she loved that.
I love multicultural things. I do.
Me too. I'm the same.
I love it.
Well, speaking of that, do you have like a favorite unique restaurant you visit in this area that you guys like to go to?
We honestly, it's very rare that we go to a restaurant. We cook just about every night.
Yeah, we cook at home most of the time.
It's hard to beat really good food that's raised right here.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's tough.
I can't eat chicken out, and it's
honestly,
hard to eat some meat.
We generally go to the movies about every Tuesday night, almost every Tuesday night, and right next to Blue Oaks Theater, there's Ramen 101, and I do love myself.
Yes, we do like the
bowl of
ramen place,
ramen.
but we don't.
I've not heard of that place.
Yeah, Ramen 101
It's so
is pretty
good.
good.
Okay.
It's this little hole
we
in the
don't eat
wall.
out a lot because we have it all.
Yeah.
We have it all here. So
That's okay.
Yeah.
Always I like to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wise
Ramen.
Villa. We ate at Wise Villa. They have a nice restaurant there. It was pretty good.
Yep.
Nice sunset.
Beautiful.
Yes.
It's a beautiful setting, Wise Villa. So we've eaten there a few times.
I mean, it's
That's
pretty
it.
rare
Yeah,
when
we
we go
don't
out to
really
eat.
eat out
okay.
too much. So.
All right, I'm going to switch topics a little bit. Tell me about an unusual request from a customer or something that surprised you.
I've
Like
been
90 pounds of pork fat. That's pretty big.
that was a good one. I've been surprised because now the in thing is a charcuterie board.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Cheese and
or
charcuterie.
table. They just do the
Yes.
whole table.
And people don't make charcuterie anymore. I do. I'm really surprised. I've got I think I've got 8 prosciuttos that are curing as we speak, and these customers are willing to wait 2 years before they're done.
Can I put an order in now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we do copas.
I love prosciutto. I
You know,
love
the
it.
copas and the lomos and stuff, they only takes a few months, but the request for prosciutto, I tell them, I warn them, I go, you order it now, but you're going to have to wait, and they don't care.
Wow, that's good to know.
Okay.
I'm glad you shared that.
But other weird orders, no, not really.
No.
It's
Can't think of
been
anything else?
pretty. It's
Yeah.
been pretty basic. You know, the cutting of the meat, I love that, but I love doing the sausages in the charcuterie. And
You
I
you
love
remind
doing
me
that.
of the time I went to Madrid, and you're walking around the city, and there's just meat shop and wine shop, meat shop, wine shop,
Yes.
cheese
Yes.
shop.
Yes.
It's like, oh my
Yes.
God, how these people handle all this salt too.
I know.
But yeah, and they're all hanging. You can
All
see
hanging.
them, and it
Yes.
looks amazing, and
there's
you know
mold
they're
all over 'em.
fresh.
And you think the mold's terrible for you, but it's not.
Yeah. I just glanced at this, and I had one more question.
Mhm.
What do you love most? And you've kind of skimmed over it about living here on your property, besides having your own animals, your own veggies, having space to teach your kids, and having your dogs protect your animals. As you got to have a livestock guardian dog.
We
Yep.
do, Luna. She is a livestock guardian dog that is deaf.
Oh,
She was
Can't
born
hear a
deaf.
thing, but let me tell you, she does a really good job.
She
She
was
makes
born
up
that
for
way.
it.
She doesn't know
Yeah,
any different.
she doesn't.
her
know
nose
any
is
different.
probably extra
Yes.
strong.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's very sweet too. But
You can answer
We
that
got
question
beautiful
first.
trees around here. It's just such a nice property.
for me, what I love most about being here, maybe not necessarily here specifically, but just in general, is the community. It's a really great community. It's a really I can reach out to another local farmer. Her name is Anna. She runs Fleur de Lis Farm in Lincoln. She is really knowledgeable with kunis, which is what we raise. And I can say, hey, what do you think about this? And it's a great answer. I can talk to somebody else about poultry, and they have a great answer for me. I have a question about, hey, what should I do about this pond problem? Like there's this algae on top. Somebody's going to know an answer. Somebody's
Yep.
always willing to help you.
Yep.
It's just really great to be part of such an awesome community.
Yep. And that's
Nice.
basically my same answer. When we were in Colfax, we had good neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't get to know the neighbors. Not like here. We've got good friends now that live across the street. Two really good friends that live in 2 different houses. The other thing that I'm thinking about is coming from the construction field. When a new electrical company came in, those of us who knew each other, we would all kind of try to outbid, keep him away from these jobs. So when I opened this butcher shop, I thought the same thing was going to happen. This new kid on the block, right? It didn't happen. I consider him a friend. He's a local butcher as well, and he's been kind of helping me avoid the pitfalls that he went through. No, don't do this, do that, and he's been doing it. So it's been a very eye-opening. It's not like it was in the Bay. It's not like it was up in the mountains. Here it's totally different. It's a much closer from Auburn to Lincoln to Loomis. It's a much closer community, I feel.
It sounds like people really help each other out.
Yes.
And they're not competitive.
Yes.
Yes, it's a great.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, he's my competitor. I'm his.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's plenty
he'll
to go around.
exactly.
Yes.
He'll call me and say, "Hey, listen, I've got too many pigs coming. Do you have room for them?" Sure. Or I'll call him. "Hey, I've got too many lambs coming," and he'll take them. That's just how it works out here, and that's what I love about being out here.
Nice. I 100% agree with you. I'm super lucky that we moved up here for endurance to ride our horses on the trails.
Got it. Yeah.
And had no idea what we were getting into, and also having horses and wanting space got kind of kicked out of the Bay Area because it's in the. I love mountain bikers. I have a mountain bike, but there's a lot more in the Bay Area that don't like horse people.
100%.
So and they have more money.
You run
I
the
get
Tevis
it.
Cup. You must do the Tevis Cup.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done it once, got my buckle, and I'm like, I'm good, but I might do it again.
Yeah.
We'll see. See what my next horse
pretty
says.
cool.
It's up to my horses. They
Yeah.
got to tell me they want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you guys ready to wrap up, or you have anything else you want to share?
Nope. Just I always want to tell people, support your local farmers. Go to your local farmers markets. There's so many in Placer County.
Eat your meat.
You can go every day to a farmer's
You
market.
can find a farmer's market almost every day in Placer County. Support your local food supply.
Yep.
It's the most important thing you can do for your community.
Yep. We know enough people just living here for the last 6 years. We know enough people that if you need beef, pork, chicken, lamb, whatever, we can find it.
Yeah.
Just, it's much better to eat something local. It just is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
Always support local. You're
Yeah.
not. I read a thing that says if you buy local, you're not buying a CEO's next vacation house. You're buying someone's ballet lessons. You're helping someone go to junior football. You're helping
Yeah,
someone.
That's true.
Soccer mom. So please support those local businesses.
Yep.
Yeah, and maybe don't get a realtor from out of town.
No, get a realtor. Get a local realtor from Coldwell Banker.
Yes.
Hey,
Absolutely.
I'm not even paying these people out. But
Where's my
yes, I
20
agree.
Where's my $20?
Bottle of wine later. So I'm gonna. Since we're on this topic, if you guys are looking to buy or sell or need a market report done for you on your property, I'm happy to help out. And I'm happy to give you a referral too. Since I'm with Coldwell Banker, I know a ton of realtors, and I go to all the meetings with PCAR, which is Placer County Realtors Association, and our Auburn meeting every Thursday morning. So I get to know all the awesome realtors. But of course, I won't refer you to them because I'm local too. I'll refer out of the area. I better clarify that. But I do love them. And Thanks a lot, you guys. Really
Thank you.
Thank
appreciate
you
your
so
time
much.
and learning
Thank
more
you for
about
coming
you.
I
out.
appreciate it.
And I'm here to pick up my hawk.
Yay.
Come on. And we're done.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.